The colony of Roanoke was potentially going to be the very first colony to be established in America, but that didn't go so smoothly. The story of the lost colony of Roanoke is simple to tell yet difficult to end. In an article titled, "What Happened to the Lost Colony of Roanoke?" the staff at History.com said, "The origins of one of America's oldest unsolved mysteries can be traced to August 1587, when a group of about 115 English settlers arrived on Roanoke Island off the coast of what is now North Carolina. John White became their governor, and all was good until suspicious things started happening. A settler by the name of George Howe was murdered by natives while hunting crab on the beach. After this incident, the settlers became nervous of their new home and convinced John White to return to England and ask for help." Shelley Barclay stated in an article titled "The Lost Colony of Roanoke" on historicmysteries.com. John went home with intentions of coming back soon, but he couldn't find a captain that would sail back with him in the dead of winter. When the waters became clearer, he returned again, but was delayed because a major naval war broke out between England and Spain, and the Spanish Armada called for all ships to be used for war. White finally returned to Roanoke 3 long years later in 1590, but only to find that the colony had disappeared. The only evidence to suggest where they were was the word Croatoan carved on a wooden post and crow carved into a tree. People have their theories of what they think happened to the people of the colony, but nobody truly knows. There's no hardcore evidence telling us that one person's opinion is true. Shelley Barclay also said, "A group of settlers disappeared in North America with hardly a trace, and no one has seen concrete evidence of their existence in centuries. Many theories have arisen over the years as to the fate of the settlers, but nothing is certain." Contrary to popular belief, the colonists that gave the colony its nickname weren't the first group to show up there. The first group came only to explore land for future groups planning to settle there. The second was there for military and scientific purposes, and this is the point of when tension began with the Native Americans. The local tribes were upset because they felt the colonists were using up good land and resources, so they drove them off the island. And the final group to arrive at Roanoke is where the mystery starts but never ends. Before White left, the colonists agreed with him that if they were forced to leave Roanoke, they would carve a Maltese cross into a tree. And John never found the cross, so he was forced to believe that they left on their own. However, the carving of the word Croatoan raised suspicions in some minds. Croatoan was the name of an island south of Roanoke that was home to Native American tribe of the same name. The Croatoan tribe befriended the second group of settlers that came to Roanoke, so it would make sense that they would become friends with the next group. Future settlers and explorers would claim to have spotted Native Americans with light hair and eyes, or natives that spoke perfect English. These claims may explain where the settlers went. It is highly likely that they integrated into the Croatoan tribe, but there is no concrete evidence of this, Barclay said. It's not impossible for the colony to have left with the local tribe, but there's only one piece of evidence that could lead us to think so. Croatoan carved into a tree just isn't enough to convince people of these claims. In an article titled, "Have We Found the Lost Colony of Roanoke?" Tanya Basu said the research team thinks that when the crisis, whatever that may have been, hit, the colonists split up into smaller groups and dispersed. No single Indian tribe or village could have supported them. They would have been even larger than some villages. They were over 100 people. Investigations into the fate of the lost colony of Roanoke have continued over the centuries, but no one has come up with a satisfactory answer. Some think that they tried to sail back to England and got lost at sea, and some think that they may have met some Spaniards coming north from Florida and have had some discrepancies. In 2007, some specialists became very interested in finding the answer to what happened to the colonists. They began to collect DNA from local families around South Carolina to find out if they were related to either of the Roanoke settlers or the local Native American tribes. John White wasn't just the governor of the colony, though. He was also an artist for Sir Walter Raleigh. Raleigh originally hired him to create maps of the landscape, and White's granddaughter, Virginia Dare, was the very first English child born in the New World. Some researchers found some forgotten maps, and they think that they may contribute to the discovery of what happened to the colonists. Tanya Basu also said, a clue uncovered in a long forgotten centuries-old map of the area called La Virginia Par, drawn by the colony's governor John White, kicked off a re-examination of the fate of the lost colonists. 2 patches on the map made Brent Lane of the First Colony Foundation wonder if there might be something undiscovered beneath them. Scientists at a British museum found a red and tiny blue symbol along the patches. They believe it could represent a fort or a secret emergency location. They believe that the explorations that Raleigh assembled were a secret and that he made John White put the patches on the map to try and cover them up. Yet again, this isn't enough information to convince anyone of anything. John could have accidentally messed up on the map and tried to fix it by covering it with patches. There are many theories as to what happened to the colony between the years of 1587 and 1590, but no one has a complete, trustworthy answer. Most researchers think that they died of disease or violence from Indian tribes. Barclay said, "There are many theories concerning what happened to the lost colony of Roanoke. They could have left due to weather, food shortage, or threat of attack by local tribes. Only one thing is for sure, that nothing is certain."